Out near Spokane. His name is Tom, and it's Kilo Delta 7 Victor Alpha Radio, KD7 VAR, and I'll turn it back out to him, see how he's how are you doing with this, Tom? Are we holding up, and are you hearing the guys up in New England right now? KD7 VAR in a group, and then turn it back to me if you would, Tom. Go ahead. Yeah, it sounds like he lost us, so he didn't come back. Anyway, let's see. Kicking it around, I guess. Perry, I guess you're up about next. The rig sounds good, Perry. W3MMR, W4KR.
Yeah, W4KR in the group, W3MMR. Yeah, thanks, Stan. Yeah, you're belting it up here, man. Wow, you get a great signal. And the rig sounds good too, man. Real good on the 5100. Lots of projects on this end, man. I got my Ranger. I've been working on my Johnson Ranger for a while. Still have some kind of issue in the audio section. Shunt resistor for the grid current blew up or shorted to ground, and it was a meltdown. Meter switch melted down, the meter, it was a bad deal. So still a little bit of an issue with that. Everything's replaced. I'm just still having a little bit of an audio issue. Some flat topping going on. Still haven't figured it out yet, but we'll get it eventually. But boy, oh boy, it sure is making me pull my hair out. So that's a story on that. Yeah, rainy here, and I don't think I've worked Tom. KD7 VAR. I put the call in the log. I know there's another gentleman that I've worked out there, Kevin. If he's listening still, or maybe he's back from the coffee, he probably remember better than I, because him and I have worked the person together before here in the morning. So not too sure there, but maybe it'll come to me. All right, so I'll keep this one short. Just sipping on the coffee here, getting my first sip in, and today's to be my first day back from vacation to work, so not looking forward to that. But hey, Christmas is this weekend, so it's going to be a short week anyway, so can't complain about it. We'll keep it moving, and I'll send it over to Charlie. M1XZW, I haven't heard him, so I guess we'll keep the rotation like that. Stan, you can turn it to me, and I'll turn it to Charlie. How's that work? N1XZW, excuse me, in the group, W3MMR.
There's more than 3 people in the group, I get confused, and I tend to go back on the side and listen. But good morning, everybody. I'm sipping on my coffee over here. Just lit my pipe back up and just kick back, relaxing. No radio projects going on right now, which is good because I'm not much good at it. Anyway, please stay on my invitation. I guess going in this direction, I guess I'll turn it down to Glenn. N1SNG, N1XZW.
Yeah, N1XZW, N1SNG. All right, Charlie. Yeah, very good morning. Sounds like you got situated there. And signal's not as strong this morning here. It's very interesting, though. When we communicated yesterday, there was this long QSB in there, and your signal would ramp right up, and one time I had to turn down the RF gains. Go figure. We might need a separate landline or something, right? But in any case, good morning, Charlie, and good to hear you in here this morning. And Barry, yeah, I thought you might have had the whole week off, but I guess you go back for a couple of days there, and then you're good to go. So I wonder if your son is still at the homestead there, or he's going elsewhere. But hope everything goes well. And yeah, on that Ranger, when I got mine, it almost felt like I was I was working on the training model, you know, ones that they built that were all screwed up, and you had to fix them up. But you'll get it. You'll get it in time. Sometimes you just have to walk away from some of those things there, and then you come back and you get a whole different mindset on it. But yeah, it can be very frustrating, because every time you work on it and then you turn it on, it's like you know, you say that little prayer. But you'll nail it down. It's got to give up sooner or later. Can't hold you hostage this long, for sure. And yeah, Stan's signal came up a bit, so of course Perry, your signal's always pretty consistent here. There was some 3880. It sounded like there was some tuning up going on there when I first came in. And not annoying, but you know, you could hear it in there. But when Charlie you know, chimed in, of course, it kind of didn't help receiving his signal. But anyway, yep, trying out the new antenna configuration. We'll see how it goes. The ends are a little bit low, but I'm not going to worry about it. Anything to neuter back some of the noise there. And I gotta call a number tomorrow. I think National Grid has shoved me out the window, and they've given me a number to call. I would have think that they would have you know, made that contact and made all the arrangements, but evidently I'll be on my own, and you know, I'm not gonna pay for any of this. It's gonna be you know, through National Grid for sure. Or I'll try calling another branch of National Grid and see what's going on with their whole protocol with this stuff, because it's just been going on for too long now, and I just want to get it resolved one way or the other. But anyway, again, Perry, that video really helped out. That was almost like a given, you know, with the noise and all. So that's a pretty good starting point. I'm leaning more towards the pole out front here. So enough of that, and we'll get it right over to. Let me see, where's it going to go? It's going to go over to Stan, I believe, or if there's any other stations standing by wanting to check in, feel free to do so. If not, Stan, why don't you pick it up? So W4KR, leave a little pause in there, N1SNG.
Okay, I dragged my feet a little bit to see what we had, Glenn, but nobody else is awake yet. K1SNG and a group W4KR. Charlie, good morning to you again. Good to hear you. Both you and Glenn are about 10 over 9 here. The noise level is about an S4, S5 right now. It's up just a little bit. Band was up and down yesterday. Band was up and down again this morning. A little more QSB than usual. I was doing the net on here last night, and there was quite a bit of QSB. It was copying all the guys from around the eastern half of the country, but QSB was there. Charlie, for your info this morning, I'm running the my regular AM rig is sitting up on its side. I'm running an Apache Lab 7000, driving an ACOM 2000. It's got a pair of 4CX 800s in it, and I'm running about 250 watts, 260 watts of carry or something like that, and I see it's popping up to popping up to about just about a kilowatt on peaks. Negative modulation is about 99%, and positive is about 115, 116 right in there, and that's about where I run this thing. When I run this rig, regular rig on here would be a BMW 5100B, but it's over here on the bench, sitting up sideways, having some surgery. It was time to change the electrolytic capacitors. Yeah, you know, Perry, Rangers are interesting gadgets. They want to work or they don't want to work, you know. And it's but if you think about it, you know, geez, that stuff is getting to be 60, 70 years old now. So it's and I'm sure the Johnson people and the Collins people and the BMW people, for that matter, that built this stuff way back when, never had any idea that this stuff would still be operational and running. I've got a Ranger 2 here that I can't get the hum out of. And it's not power supply hum. It's something coming out of the VFO, and I haven't captured it yet. I'm about ready to give up on it. I drag it out here and work on it every once in a while, trying to find it, and I haven't found it yet. I'm about ready to next spring. We'll be going up to Michigan for a couple of family events up there in late April, and I'm thinking about maybe taking it with me and dropping it off to the guy up in Battle Creek. But let Terry see if he can find it. We'll be up there quite a while, so I can drop it off and then pick it up on our way home again. So anyway, we'll see. But they can be challenges. I had something weird happen when I had the Globe King 500. I could start out making a transmission and everything was fine, and all of a sudden the audio would disappear. Well, it turned out to, after it warmed up, it turned out to be a resistor before the first audio stage, between the mic and the first audio stage. That was you know, because of old age, and that was they probably had World War II leftover stuff in that thing. That was it would all of a sudden it would quit being a 47K resistor and became a half a meg resistor, and the audio went to pot. So anyway, that stuff will happen. It took me quite a while to figure that out, because when it was cold, when you do most of the testing, it was okay. But then you get more than about 2 minutes worth, and it would shut down. Maybe that was the early version of transmission limiting. Hey, you guys carry on. I'm going to have to run upstairs here for a little bit, and maybe I'll be back a little later in the morning. But I've got to handle a chore outside before it gets light out. So, Perry, up to you. Good to hear you. And again, it's been quite a while. Hope all's well up in Philly. W3MMR in a group. This is W4KR. 7-3s, guys, and go ahead, Perry.
Yes, W4KR in the group. W3MMR. Yeah, real good transmission, Stan. You're banging in here, man. The band's in great shape. Everyone's coming in great. Locally, long distance, far away, semi-far away. Everyone's coming in great, man. Solar flux is up to 137. Yeah, 137, so solar flux is pretty high. Maybe that was the cause of some of that long rolling QSB you guys were talking about. And during the net and stuff last night, Glenn, you were talking about it as well. I guess talking with Charlie. Good stuff. Yeah, the sun's definitely awake now. Last year at this time, I think the solar flux was in the 60s. But definitely the sun has woken up and the solar cycle has begun. Good stuff. Yeah, it's a good idea, Stan, of dropping it off at Terry's if you're going to be in Michigan. Terry's a great guy. I bought a speaker off him for my National NC303, the NTS2 matching speaker. And I put a QRZ ad up, and he came back to the ad, and then obviously figured out who he was after the fact. But after he had, I figured it took me a little bit to figure it out. But once I figured it out, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. How about that? Small world. So, yeah, Terry's a good guy, and I'm sure he'll be able to get that straight if you take the Ranger 2 out there. You bum it on the hum, too. And no hum in my Ranger, man, just no audio. Well, I got audio, but it sounds like poop. And you get a hum when you key. It's just a mess. It's a long, drawn-out transmission that I'm not going to make this morning. We'll leave it at it's broken. And I talked to Kevin. Kevin sent me a text message. He had to transfer over to the couch and get horizontal. Man, he got a little bit of back pain this morning. So Kev's over there listening in, but he's relaxing like all of us should be doing right now, laying down. That's for sure. So I hope you feel better there, Kevin. Hope you feel better, buddy. And he says we're all coming in great down that way. I have, what else I was going to say? Oh, yeah, I am on the Anon. I think I mentioned that, but I'm running an AL80, driving my AL80B at about 170 watts. And seems to be happy around that way. So anyway, we'll keep it moving. Glenn, I'll send it to you. I'm going to run down the hall. I'll be listening from afar, and I'll be back by the next round. Actually, it goes to Charlie. M1XZW in the group, W3MMR.
KK4GZQ. I'll make one more, guys.
Hey, Kevin. I'll pass it down to you in a second, and you can pass it back up to Glenn. You guys talking about the Ranger, because mine didn't know how old it was until you guys mentioned it. I'm hoping it doesn't suddenly come down with old age syndrome. Because unlike you guys, I'm not much good at fixing stuff. I have no clue what goes on inside this Ranger. I don't know what's been done to it. I don't know what hasn't been done to it. It's, you may as well say it's a ticking time bomb. Anyway, very good there, Sam. I think you may be able to hear us from where you know. You said you were going outside. You're not hearing anything right now. You're out in the wilderness out there where the masks are not worn. Over to you there, Kevin. KK4GZ. Oh yeah, by the way, Glenn, I'm hearing you the same way. Very, very poor copy this morning. So I hope it's not you moving the antenna. I hope it's just simply wind conditions. KK4GZ, take it. M1XCW.
Okay, Charlie. N1XZW with crew. KK4GZQ. Kind of looking over the 610. I wanted to jump back in and say hello and good morning to Perry, W3MMR. And Perry, you've got a great signal down here this morning, buddy, and thanks for your concerns. Yeah, I pulled a muscle on the right side of my back, one of those that runs right up your side here. It's from lifting. And, in the past, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm about 6'4", 230. And I've always been able to, lift some pretty good weight and do whatnot. But as I age, I'll tell you what, I have to remind myself I can't do what I used to do. And my brother always says, Glenn, he says, the older you get, the more gravity challenged you become. M1SNG to take it. Merry Christmas, Glenn, Charlie, Perry. And it was good to catch Stan in here this morning, W4KR, along with KD7VAR, Tom out near Spokane, Washington. Boy, he had a good signal in here this morning. So I'm going to go back to the couch. Glenn, here it comes. And I'm going to go back and try to see if I can get some heat on this little strain I've got here. N1SNG, it's great to hear you this morning, Glenn. And I meant to say earlier that the combo you got going there with the Ranger and the Thunderbolt is just doing a fantastic job. It sounds wonderful. Here it comes, Glenn. N1SNG in the group. Good morning, Merry Christmas, everybody. KK4GZQ.
Yeah, okay, Kevin, very good. Yeah, and you also, you and yours have a very Merry Christmas there. And yeah, I get that too. I'm 6'2", I'm 210, and I don't bend like I used to. And I know what you're talking about there. Well, I call that the sciatic nerve, but I've been pretty lucky. Kind of pace myself now. But best thing to do is you put a hard compress on there and get lots of rest. That's what's going to do it. Just rest up, give it a break, and you'll be fine. It's just it is a setback, especially when you're used to getting up and working every day. I used to go out to the wood pile every time I got a delivery and try to stack a cord of wood in one day, and I can't do that anymore. So I go out. I got a little garden tractor with the trailer, and I take 3 loads, and then that's it. And I'll get the rest the other day. Of course, being retired now gives me a little more time, but I hope you're feeling well there, Kevin. And like I said, get lots of rest with that. So anyway, I'll pass it over to, I think Stan signed. I'll pass it over to Perry for any finals with you there, Kevin. W3MMR N1SNG. Yeah, Perry said he was going out to the snack bar. So anyway, Kevin, we'll catch you later on there. Merry Christmas. Over to you, Charlie.
Wow. It's down to just the 2 of us? I didn't hear Perry.
Yep, Perry will be back.
Yeah, I didn't hear Perry sign.
I'm back.
There he is.
I was down in the hall. I was in the command center. Heard Glenn say, I'll turn it back to Perry, and I'm like, I'm rushing. I almost fell down the steps. That's funny. All right, now I can catch my breath. W3MMR. Yeah, what a morning. I'm not looking forward to going back to work, man. Even though I don't think it's going to be slow or like busy, but it's always busy for me. But I may head in early, actually. Here I am saying I don't want to go back to work today, but I think I might head back in early because there's a job that needs to be done that I know I'm going to have to do that's been there for a long time. And if I don't go in early and do it, I'm going to have to do it in between while doing 4 other things. You know what I mean? So it might be like beneficial to go in an hour early, open up, be there by myself, turn the radio on, and and just get to work here because it shouldn't take too long. But I got to put a shifter in a 2008 Jeep Liberty that we've had a little bit of an issue with. It's kind of a weird setup. It's got this interlock cable and couple solenoids that keep the shifter from leaving park. When you don't hit without hitting the brake or without the key in the ignition, and that would work fine. But it also, if you notice, like your shifter, if you try to while you're moving, if you try to like push your automatic shifter forward into reverse without pressing the button, it won't go. You know what I mean? Because it's got a bunch of little different locking areas in there. And this one, you could push it right up into park, right up into reverse from neutral. That interlock wasn't working. But it was working, when the brake interlock and all that stuff was working. So I had to get another shifter. This will be the 3rd shifter that we've put in it. But I'm pretty sure it's because the customer's been wanting to get used shifters. So that's what happens when you buy used stuff. You don't want to spend extra money on the new stuff. But this isn't a case of him not wanting to spend extra money. This is a case of them they're not making it anymore. The Jeep doesn't make that shifter anymore, so you have to get a used one. There's really no choice. So that's a story on that. So we'll see how I feel here in about an hour if I'm ready to go or not. But I'll stick in here for a couple more. Glenn, I don't think. I'm not going to be able to tell unless for at least a few days, a few different QSOs. But so far, I don't see a difference with the antenna here, which I didn't think I would. at our distance. And I don't think you'll see much of a difference really anywhere, because I don't think it's that. He said it's low. The ends are lower, but I don't think he said they were that much lower. So, yeah, one thing, though, I'll tell you what, I put more ground radials out for my antenna. On this, I can't get my match down. Now that I put more ground radials out, and now that it's wet, I can't get my match down here on 75 below 1.4 to 1 no matter what I do. Before, I could get it down flat. And now 160 is very tunable, but see, this is like the compromise that you make with an antenna system. Like, you do one thing, and it'll change it somewhere. You know, you do something to it, it's going to change something. So that's whatever. 1.4 to 1 ain't bad, ain't blowing nothing up. Anyway, back up to you, Charlie. Charlie. W3MMR.
W3MMR, M1XVW. Well, my tuner is resting when I'm on this band. I don't have the chart in front of me, but it's well within safe limits. I got about 4 watts reflected right now. Oh yeah. 140 watts static carrier. Because I got a lot of modulation without having to keep feeding me. The meter goes up to about 160 watts while I'm modulating it. So. Yeah, that's a big concern, Terry. You know, you guys talking about the ranges, and, you know, he's got one down, you've got one down. Both are having trouble figuring out what's wrong. What would a guy like me do that has no range or talent? I got lucky with the Gonset. I found the resistors that the smoke came out of, and stuck a new one in there. Amplifier tube, and all was good again. But yeah, the Rangers much bigger and much more complicated than that Gonset is. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know, Glenn. It could be just the band conditions, but I'm not hearing you as well as I've been hearing you the last week or so. So it's probably just the band. We got lucky there for a few days, and yesterday during the day it was pretty good when I talked to you, so it's probably just the band is like, well, it's super warm this morning on the West Coast. I didn't get to talk to him, but I did turn the sensitivity all the way up one time while he was talking, and he was doing a 20 over there at a point, so the band is extremely N1SNG, N1XGW.
K0 Sugar Fox.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. N1XCW, N1SNG, K0 Sugar Fox. Nice signal this morning. And Charlie, you're right. Yeah, we, I think our signals pretty much parallel each other here because we're so close in. I did get 100% of that. With the new antenna, it's a little quieter, so it's to that advantage. And anything more than that would be much appreciated, you know. But that's up to the clouds up there, you know. But anyway, we'll be right with you there, Steve. Perry, on the shifter, yeah, a lot of that old Jeep stuff, it gets to be unobtainable. I know my Jeep, the 75. I can basically buy that whole Jeep off the shelf, from the frames to the bodies. But that's got a T18 transmission in it. That's got a 4-speed. It's a real stone crusher. They put that same transmission in a lot of bigger trucks. So Jeep was always oddball components. You never knew what you were going to get coming out the back end. It's just incredible there. So yeah, I'll really nail that one down. I wonder if there's anything on YouTube about that one, or it's just a one-off. But Yeah, Jeep, when Chrysler took over, I don't know who bought AMC. I don't know. They went through several hands, but, it really, I think they were just scrounging for parts and buying out overruns of other companies, whatever. I used to have the old 3-speeds. I had a Jeep Commando. And I had a, what the heck, I had a CJ5 back in 75. All 3-speed transmissions. Did nothing but off-roading, No real highway driving. But now, they're more sophisticated, and they're probably $50,000-$60,000 for a Jeep. But they keep going on. There's a guy locally here. That's all he does is frames. He does Jeep frames, and actually he'll buy the complete vehicle and strip it down and recondition parts. But I know a lot of guys have been over there for either frame repairs or total frame replacements. He has his own engineered design on those. So pretty popular vehicle, and probably a good idea to get in there early and get that over with, and the old easier said than done, for sure. So anyway, Steve, good morning to you, and this is Glenn, N1SNG in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. So I'm going to pass it your way, and then could you please bring it up to Perry, W3MMR, K0SF, N1SNG.
No, very good. Okay, Glenn, N1 SNG K0SF, good morning to you and Charlie, N1XCW, hearing Charlie pretty well, and of course Kevin and Perry, no sweat. Well, Perry, I heard your comment on tuning your 80. Maybe it's so efficient now. The resistive part of the load has gone so low that you'll need to flip your matching network around. So it might be a good thing, but and I wonder if that's are you on a vertical right now? Anyways, I talk about dumb luck. I just got this Alpha Delta 1 to 4 position switch. And I know guys hate them. Some guys really hate them. And I had tough luck with them a long time ago as well. And I took them apart and kind of saw a few issues with them and rebuilt mine. In fact, so the new one came Monday, and I took it all apart Monday night and rebuilt it for a while. 05 vertical. That started out at 83 feet, and I had some top loading, and the wires got caught in a tree and kind of broke it about a third of the way down. So it's about a 50-foot vertical right now or whatever, and dumb luck, I just hooked it up, and it actually works pretty good on 60 meters with about a 1.3 to 1 SWR. So I don't even have a match on it, Perry, but it worked a few guys with it, and it gets out pretty well. So that's my new 60-meter vertical, and I've been listening between it and my inverted V's. And going east to you guys, the inverted V's are so far always better than that vertical for at least listening, which I expect. All right, just getting ready for the holidays. Got to work today, big long day, but I think this is the last one for the week. Then we'll be making fires and baking cookies, and well, I think my wife's got the presents wrapped. so not much to do there, whatever. Waiting for the kids to show up. I think they're going to show up Christmas Day. They got, they got their wives, families now they have to attend, so they're going there Christmas Eve and then coming. I think a couple are coming late Christmas Eve here. Then we'll have them Christmas, so that's fine. All right, Perry, over to you. And what is the? Tell me your antenna system, Perry. I don't think I think it's a vertical, but why don't you describe it? I'm kind of curious. W3MMR K0SF.
K0SF in the group W3MMR. Real good signal, Steve, as always. Real good, and I guess kind of bummer on the 05 vertical. He makes good antennas, man. Tom does. I know Tom from the my 11 meter days. He's a good dude, and friends on Facebook, all that fun stuff. I haven't seen him around in a little while, but he used to post a lot in different various radio groups on Facebook, but I haven't seen him around. Anyway, but no, I'm not running a vertical. The reason I put the ground radials out, okay, I'm running 125 foot, 600 ohm open wire fed doublet, basically, up about 70 feet in an inverted V. Now I put the radials out in the yard because this is as big as antennas I can fit on the property, and my father had suggested to get on 160, short the feeders out, and I was using a different antenna tuner and all this stuff at the time, and so I was trying that, but the local noise was just way too brutal. I would get out fine, but the signal to noise ratio, between local RFI and guys just really not being that strong because of the time I get on at around, I don't get on late on 1.6, I get on around 6:30, 7 o'clock, or first thing in the morning. And so it just didn't work for me. So I ended up building this balanced L network antenna tuner, and started running it as a short dipole, and it's been working great. However, I could only tune from like 1900 and down. So the other day I said, let me put some more, because over the summer I've had these radials out, and I've been running this as a short dipole on 160 for about 6 months or so now. And in the summer the match was much better, but I noticed it got progressively worse over the summer because my landscaper hit my ground radials with the weed whacker, okay, and destroyed every one but just about 4. Okay, and so I was like, well, let me put some more ground. The other day I was going to put some more ground radials out and see if my match will come back down on 160, and I did, and the match got much better on 160. I don't know why, how, it's all above my pay grade, but I can tune pretty much all of 160 now. So so that's that, and I don't know why. I guess, I mean, the match always changes when it rains. It always does. And I have like my dry shorting clip settings and wet basically, but the wet is now in a different position and I haven't found it yet. So I'm sure I could get it down to flat. I just have to mess around because you know how it is moving these. I don't have roller inductors, so I have 2 hand-wound 13 Henry inductors that I got to short by hand, so it's a little harder sometimes to find the sweet spot of the least amount of inductance and the most amount of capacitance, which equals the least amount of loss. So, but good info on that, Steve. I'm going to try switching the capacitor to the other side of the tuner and see if that helps. Once I have some time to tune off to the side here and do a little bit of tuning up. So that's the story on that. Great info, Steve. Thank you. And great signal as always. And I think on your QRZ page it has the way you phased your antennas, if I remember correctly. I'll have to go check that out again because I was interested in that. Good stuff all the way around. I'll stick in here for one more. And then we're going to go start getting ready for work and try to see if we want to go in early or not today. Still haven't decided. Back out to you, Charlie. N1X, Z, and a W. This is W3MMR.
W3MMR, N1XCW. Good morning, Steve. Well, if I've got a good signal, Steve, that's always a plus because, if I describe my antenna to you, you'll ask me, how does that work? Because it doesn't make any sense. I got the BMW 90, which everybody calls the elevated dummy load, so I went to work and I cut the dummy load out of it. And I added like 75 feet of wire going off in two other directions. The main antenna is a sloper from 40 feet to the ground. And the two elements going off of the hinge, which is actually the middle, one goes north up over a tree limb and hangs down almost to the ground. And the other one goes southwest over a tree limb and hangs down almost to the ground. Down on the riverbank, actually below grade. My backyard is 18 feet above the river. So, if you can figure out how that works, it's got a 25 watts reflected with 150 forward on this band without the antenna tuner. And it'll work. I can tune it on 160 down to about 1900. And after that, it starts getting sketchy. And 19 to 2. There's no problem. I can tune that just fine. Right down flat. So, here's my... It's more like random wires. And this is my last one because the fish tank lights are on in about 11 minutes. So I'm going to listen out for that 11 minutes and get you guys all over. Anyone I want to talk to, have a nice Christmas. Have a good New Year. N1SNG. N1XCW.
Yeah, okay, fine business, Charlie. N1XCW. All right. Under the antenna dome there.
You do a good job, Charlie.
I know where you live. I've seen the top of your house from up on the hill. And you're down quite a bit there before the river. So you do a good job where the location is considered serene for sure. And again, good morning to Steve. Yeah, I have an Alpha Delta 4 here. I've had that for about maybe 12 years or so. And I run it backwards. I got four transmitters. And then one out into one tuner. So I can run a few transmitters here. And it's still working pretty good. I run low power here. 100 watts, 150 watts or so. But, my other switches, I got I have two MFJ 1700Cs. And I took those apart when I got them. And I just wanted to make sure that everything inside was in good shape. And it was. Materials, it all, again, low power, and that one. Severe power to them, high power, and they seem to work pretty good. And that gives me any receiver with any transmitter, with any antenna. So it's kind of there's no schematic to this, so it's just kind of a plug and play, and all the wires go underneath the table. So it does work for me, and that's pretty, it's been pretty reliable. The antenna is a 75 meter inverted V, about 35 feet up, slopes down, probably about 30 degrees on each side. And it's about 12 feet off the ground on each end. That's just been a new new position change there. Trying to get away from some power line noise. But, yeah, it seems to work good. I haven't had any trouble with the antenna. It did actually go early off the Delta switches. I did have some trouble with it. First one that I bought. And it was the soldering inside. There was one leg going to the switch that was kind of like a cold soldering on that. So I went around and I restarted all the soldering points that I could. But again, we're running just 100 watts power there. And with the new antenna position here, I've noticed on my ART-13 at least, because I run that directly out into the 75-meter antenna, I was running at like a 1.6 on the SWR with no tuner, just a line out, and now that's on a 1.4. So a little bit of difference there. So just a little bit of movement in the antenna, and like Perry was saying, the ground radials and things there can make a world of difference. It's function, not fashion. You can have the best design, symmetrical and all that, and it may work wonderfully, and then again it may not. But sometimes you find these things out as you go along. Other than that, right now with the running in the kilowatt matchbox, and it's flat. Basically, no losses considering tuner in line. It works pretty good there. And I have other meters that I monitor also. And everything's below 1.5, and if that's the best, fine. But I don't travel that too far. It's too far either side of me. 3885. I got a 3810 with no problems. But a 150, I have a designated antenna for that. 50 and 1885 and 1945. Through the tuner, no problems at all. So anyway, and bear in mind that all the line here is 9913 coax. And I'll tell you, I didn't realize I bought the solid conductor. So that stuff, it's like trying to bend copper tubing. Some goes underground, some's above, and seems to work pretty good here. And it's been up there for a good 15 plus years. And hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. I know the price of coax is way up there. So I don't want to have to go out and buy another 500-foot roll. That's for sure. So anyway, with that, let me get over to Perry. I know Perry's getting anxious here to go to work this morning, and I guess Charlie is signed, or getting ready to sign.
You pick it up, Steve.
What are you, Perry? W3MMR and 1SNG. Have a Merry Christmas if we don't catch up, and be safe there in that shop by yourself. Over to you, Perry.
Yeah, go ahead. I think it goes to Steve, and then over to me, and I'll make my final. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Yeah, W3MMR. You can tell what the low SDR going in the back IS. Kill that. K0SF, very good. All right, well, 12 years is good. Now, so I'm kind of doing that as well. I'm going, Glenn, I'm going 4 rigs, well, 3. And then for the one, so from rigs, the 4-to-1 switch, and then from that, just, short jumper over to the 1-to-4, which is the antenna switch, and then one of the positions on that goes out to the tower 1-to-6 switch. That's an Array Solutions, you know, what they call the Rat Pack. I just got that. That works quite well, by the way. I'm very happy with it. Other than don't try to screw those, don't try to put those connectors on in 30-degree weather with the cover on. Oh my gosh, that was painful. You got to pull the cover off. And Jay Turleski, the owner, he's got these little Phillips heads. Must be like number 6 Phillips heads with washers. And so I was fumbling with those up at 110 feet, trying to get them back in, not drop them. I didn't. I got all 4 in with the washers, but oh my, that was a challenge. So I'll come up with some different hardware like hex heads, or even better yet, like a T-bolt, just doing by hand. But the cover, I had the cover on, and when I first time I got up there, I didn't have a Phillips to remove the cover, so I had to fumble with trying to get the connectors on, working underneath that darn cover. And I got them. So, yeah, I don't know. So the Alpha Deltas, I think, are good. The one thing I do is I take it pretty much apart. I remove all the receptacles. And you're thinking, why would a crazy guy do that? Well, because I'm kind of nuts. But the other is they're painted. So they got all the connectors on paint. And you just really don't. We've had the EMC problems. We have it Medtronic with equipment when connectors are on paint, or just I see that and I immediately go, if that's chassis grounded connector, that's the paint's got to come off. So I did that on all my switches, but you know, to do that you've got to unsolder them and reattach. And then the other is just getting that the lift bar correct, and you may have to adjust the little nylon screws to get the contact at the right height. But that's a pretty minor adjustment. And the hard one is getting the end contacts in the 1x4. So if you contact an outside one like number 1, you got to look and make sure number 4 doesn't inadvertently contact. And of course the problem is if you're running like a rig switch, and so you got the big, like the big transmitter on 1, then you don't want a little tiny solid state rig on 4 unless you're sure that contact opens. So that's kind of the issue. All right, enough of that. I wonder if you guys have any travel plans, or if you're sticking around, and how is I hope the cleanup effort's coming along, Kevin, in Western Kentucky. Man, I imagine a lot of those people are not going to have a home to live in on Christmas. I haven't checked on the relief fund. I haven't given anything here yet, but probably should. I mean, we'll make Western Kentucky part of our 2021 giving plan. How's that? I imagine you guys. I imagine that money would go to good use. Won't end up buying a yacht for someone there. All right. W3MMR, and there's 2 carriers in there. Somebody else is transmitting. I can see that on the web SDR. W3MMR K0SF. KK4GZQ, and a quick comment for K0 Sugar Fox, over.
Dummy that doesn't know how to use a dummy load.
There was 3 people. I heard Timmy and Kevin. And real quick, before I get it over to you, Kevin, was there another breaker? I heard Kevin and Timmy. There was one more. Maybe not. Go ahead, Kevin. Make your comment and then send it back to me.
Okay, Perry, and good morning to Tim, WA1HLR, K0 Sugar Fox from the group KK4GZQ. And I just wanted to let you guys know just some on-the-ground reports here from here locally. Steve mentioned the tornado victims in western Kentucky, and Steve, I'd like to report to you the number of buses, trucks, people, goods, you name it, it's all rolling that way. The response of the community has been unbelievable. And that's just, I feel good saying that. Back to you, Perry, and good morning, Steve. Good signal from you and Tim, WA1HLR. And I'll go back to the couch here, Perry. I just wanted to make that comment to Steve, and thanks for letting me in. W3MMR, take it. KK4GZQ, how copy, over?
Great copy, Kevin. KK4GZQ. What day is it? Oh, it's Wednesday. It's recycling. That's why you can hear the trash guy going by the house. W3MMR here. Good all the way around. Good transmissions all the way around. Let's see. I don't really have any notes, man. I was just going to make this my final. Good morning to you, Timmy. Good signal. As always, my friend. And I don't know if Charlie's in here still. But I'll send it to Charlie. I think he said he was signing. If Charlie doesn't grab it, Timmy, you pick it up and send it to Glenn, N1SNG. Then we got Steve K0SF in here as well. Yeah, man, so great signals all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I don't have much to comment on. I'm just sitting here trying to find something to comment on. So, no reason to hold it here. So, have a great morning, guys. 7-3. We'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow morning. If I don't hear some of you, have a or talk to you guys, any of you guys. Have a fantastic Christmas. Be safe. Hopefully it's merry and prosperous and all those fancy words. And we'll catch up with you guys next time. N1XEW in the group. And it goes to Timmy, WA1HLR. This is W3MMR. 7-3. Go ahead, Timmy.
Okay, I didn't hear anything. I'm in the process of getting dressed. I just had a shower, washed my hair, yada yada. Yeah, we're supposed to get snow and then change over to rain, freezing rain, so things are going to be a real mess. But I see the match is good on the antenna. I'm into the wire array. I'm just whistling into Steve's account of being up a tower. I haven't climbed up anything of any height in many, many years. I think I reached a point of saying, well, I've had my time going up tall towers, relatively speaking. And just not doing it anymore. Yep. Yeah, Alpha Delta products. I'm using a 4-port Alpha Delta switch here as the master station selector switch that selects 4 different equipment setups into a common feed to the master antenna selector switch, which is something I built up from various pieces, parts. The Alpha Delta switch cannot handle that much power. I cooked it a bit using it on 20 meters with a Junction 600. You know, it started becoming intermittent, and I took the thing apart, and the way it's designed, I would have done it differently, but at moderate power, it's all right. And it's got good isolation and all that. That was my concern, was RF getting into other pieces of equipment. So I'm going to wind up building a station selector switch that'll be extremely heavy duty. Yeah, that's the problem with these hammy-ham bone switches. They can only handle so much. And what I have in mind will probably test the limits of stuff like that. And I don't like blowing anything up, so there you go. So hopefully everybody is a high flying business Christmas. My wife and I are going to be very low-key, not going anywhere, not doing anything, and that's the name of that tune. So I did hear Glenn in there before I started my shower, and the way band conditions change, he's probably not hearing me. Who knows? And maybe I'm not hearing him now. But we'll check it out. Good morning to you, Kevin. Heard you doing your usual good signal up here. N1SNG from WA1H, YLR. Yeah, I guess lost propagation.
You hear me, Steve? JZS.
I'm hearing you great. Yeah, I think John VZS checked in. I'm sorry, Harry or Kevin, who was it going to after Tim? Tim finished up there.
It goes to Glenn N1SNG. Are you still in there? Glenn, SNG? I think the band was going away there for them, Steve. So, hold on a second here. Timmy, then the Steve. I think then it goes to BZS. It's only you three left in here now, Steve. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't know, John, if you're hearing me okay, but go ahead. W4 BZS K0 Sugar Fox, go ahead.
K4BZS W3 MMR. Go ahead.
So I'm going to assume that you guys got my call wrong, given the poor quality of my signal normally. This is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike. My call is November 8th, Japan, Zanzibar, Sierra. I'm located in Kent, Ohio, and recently returned to ham radio. This is a homebrew transistorized rig. Just recently got it on the air and still tinkering with it. But I heard my hero, Tim Tron, and I thought I would just throw a call. Didn't mean to interfere with you guys' rotation, but good morning from Kent, Ohio. Over.
Well, I got you here, Tom. Okay, so cool. Yeah, that was Tom. Did you get Tom's call, Steve?
I did not, Tom. I'm hearing you on a web SDR. So if you don't mind, give us your call again a couple of times. Go ahead.
Sure. I'm also listening on the web SDR in Pennsylvania. The call is November 8th, Japan, Zulu, or Zanzibar if you prefer, Sierra, or Sugar if you prefer. Did that come across?
Yep, it sure did. Yeah, okay, Tom. NAJZS. Well, that's where I got you messed up with John K4BZS. Not hard to do. Yeah, we don't have propagation between Ohio and Minnesota right now, so I'm also listening to you on K3FEF. But you're doing quite well there, and nice audio actually. It sounds very balanced and full, enough highs, all the good stuff. So you have to tell us what the transistorized rig is. Okay, various people are jumping out. Perry may have jumped out. I have no idea who it goes to. Let me try Perry, and if not, let's then just go over to Tim again, and maybe, I don't know, maybe Kevin's in here. Doesn't matter at this point. It's like the new movie. When everybody leaves and the next movie's starting, the entire crowd leaves. So we got a whole new group in here, I think. Perry, perchance you're still in here. I'll go to you, and I don't know. My guess would be Tim. W3MMR, key 0SF.
Yeah, Perry signed out. It should go over to Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin.
Tim?
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, okay. I was in on the couch. Boy, I tell you what, I've still got a pretty good little sprint left in me in my old age here, Tim. WA1HLR in the group. KK4GZQ. I was on the couch listening to you guys on the 570 in the 40-meter loop at about 30 feet off the ground, horizontally. And boy, is it receiving you guys well this morning. And I've still got the BC610 powered up in here with the R392 receiver. And good copy on everybody. What a good band this morning. Everybody from Glenn to Charlie to Tom out in Spokane, Washington a little earlier to Stan down in South Carolina. Short and long for me here has been good all morning, so and at low noise. We're not expecting a big high today here. It's 33 now. I think we're only going to 37, 38, somewhere in there, but we're going to take that down to 21 tonight. And we're going to go ahead and get a 50-degree day in tomorrow. And I've got a customer that's been jumping up and down. I'm going to go ahead and we've scheduled that for tomorrow. Driveway washing, pressure washing is what I do. Anyway, that's about all I know to talk about. Good copy on Steve, K0 Sugar Fox, and hopefully Steve heard my comment about how the responsiveness from our state and just all the surrounding areas of the United States have responded to the victims in western Kentucky. As I probably mentioned early on, that we would continue getting reports for weeks and even months on some of the isolated incidences and so on, and sure enough, there's thousands of them. So a lot of people were affected, a lot of people. So anyway, it's good to see the community and the nation coming together for a good cause. Anyways, Tim, I'm going to send it back to you. Merry Christmas to you and Marcy. And it's always good to hear you in here anytime we can get a little airtime with you. WA1HLR, KK4GZQ on the mousetrap. Good morning, 7:30.
All right, Kevin, very good. So you're going to go back to the couch and veg out. Yep. Yeah, that's good, you know. In spite of the great political divide that we're in, at least a number of people are able to put that all aside and pitch in, if you will. Well, I'm not running a whole lot of power. I'm on the Chump 150 and whistling on the 342, the Beastie 342. I like using this particular setup for good old 75, as I've got a number of other equipment combinations I can use that run nearly the same or that much more power. So I'm going to get my morning bean going. I was up fairly early this morning, but I tried to go back to sleep. I've been having some sleep issues, as a lot of us have, and been trying various miracle cures with varying results. So, I don't know. I guess I did all right, all things considered. So, yeah, the N8 station in Ohio, I should be able to hear him, but he's VPW, very piss weak. No signal here. And I don't know if he's hearing me either, but this antenna favors Ohio. Is right in the bore site of the antenna. Steve, you got a real good signal in here. Steve and Kevin and Perry was in there doing very well because you're all at least at the right distance or further away. And it seems like band conditions are usual wintertime conditions. Not bad at all. So I'll hang in here for a little bit before I shuffle off to Buffoonalo, as they say. K0SF from WA1H, Yellar.
Okay, great, Tim. WA1HLR in the group, K0SF, very good. Yeah, you're still holding quite well. No trouble at all. Yeah, well, I wasn't Tom. I had to hear I heard him on the Pennsylvania WebSDR, so he was doing okay there. I have to use a WebSDR here in the morning to hear everybody. I not very few days does everyone come in well direct, so I got to cheat a little bit. So I use K3FEF. A little bit further west, November Whiskey 8 Sierra in northwest Ohio works pretty good. And then sometimes the one out by you guys, WA1STH. In New England. All right, yeah, Tim, fine on the switch. Yeah, well, 600, Big Johnson keyed on 20 might challenge that switch. Although I ran a 4-to-1 here. With the 20V, well, the 20V was quarter strap power. I was running 250 carrier with it on 20 meters in the AM rally, and I didn't have issues, so it was probably less power than you had. On 75, they've been good. You know, I'm running half strap right now, around 375 to 100 in that area, and I haven't had any issues with them. They've been good. Knock on wood. I don't know. If they do arc over, I don't know what I'll probably, maybe I'll build something. I have these little, bayonet style vacuum relays. The issue is, the leads, you start to add inductance. You can kind of manage that by putting some cap and shunt. You make them into a pi filter. Kind of into a pi low pass filter where the lead inductance is the series inductor, and you add little caps. But at some point they're going to cut off, and so the trick is, if you're running multi-bands, I go up to 6 meters. You need the switch to hold up at least that far. But I think you could probably still do that with a vacuum relay, with like vacuum relays in a circle. So I may do that if these don't hold up. I probably have over 200 of various types that I've been collecting over the years, so I don't have any shortage of those. All right, and Kevin, great on the recovery effort. That is great to see. It is mind-boggling to see those videos. They show the helicopters and the drones flying over, and it's what they call, the finger of God. Except this one looks like the shovel of God or the bulldozer of God. Unbelievable. It's just mind-boggling. I'm seeing a little more video now of that. Of the tornado, and I'm sorry, I know they initially classified it as a EF3, but I wonder if the classification now has gone up, and the scientists will say there's no way you can classify a tornado as it's happening or even a day or week after. It takes usually weeks, a month to really make that determination, so I would suspect it much higher, especially when it was around Mayville. It was a mile wide for Pete's sakes, and debris going up at 30,000 feet. Again, mind-boggling. Okay, Tom, let's try you again, and I'll go to the WebSDR, and then why don't you can get it over to Kevin, although he may have signed. I'm gonna make this my last as well, guys. I got to get a work thing done. It's my last work day of the week, and I got up early here to get it done, and I haven't accomplished a thing yet. So, Tom, why don't you take it, and then kick it over to Kevin, GZQ. N8, Juliet, Zulu, Sierra, K0, Box, over.
Contact K4DBS.
I think somebody needs some
Contact clear.
I will stand by for whoever it was that was trying to make a contact.
Well, I hear nothing, so I'm going to sign. We'll see you later, Steve. This WA1H YLR.
Well, 73, Jim, you're good. 10 to 15 over here this morning. My noise level's at about an S1, 2. So that's a lot of headwood. Basically noise-free. 73.
All right, good day, eh?
W4 here.
Go ahead, Mac. A lot of us are signing. You might have Kevin as a straggler. I think he signed too, but the rest of us are going to sign. So, Mac, go ahead and take it. Let's take we'll let you guys run with it. W4AX K0SF73. Merry Christmas.
Contact K4DBS.
Okay, Steve, thanks so much. Merry Christmas to you as well. I couldn't tell, didn't hear anyone in there, so my apologies. I doubled on that. And I'll just stand by until maybe the southeast and in Texas too, coming W4AX.
Hey, Steve, before you run off, I made a comment. I'm interested. I thought the class of tornado was 1 speed, so have they changed that? K9U.
Yeah, I don't know, Jerry. I haven't. When I checked, a day or two after, they thought it was EF3, but I haven't heard if they've upgraded it yet.
Okay, yeah, because usually 300, 350 mile an hour wind speeds would classify the F5. Yeah, usually those things, like when you hit that candle factor, it usually clears the ground. That one that hit through Joplin and all that, in the northern part of some Oklahoma, when it hit the schools and stuff, there was only foundation left. There was no debris around. But I didn't know. I haven't been keeping up. But it used to be wind speed would classify them. But I was just curious. So good morning, all. I just was listening a bit, trying to wait for coffee.
There's a K4DBS that's been trying to get a contact in there, Jerry. Good morning, KE9U, KK4GZQ, W4AX. K4DBS, would you go ahead with your contact from KK4GZQ in the group?
Yeah, okay. I guess I'm not letting you now. I'm going to K4DBS, Harville, Georgia. Just came in the shack here, turned unit on here. I got it running on Valiant, and just thought I'd say hi. I haven't been listening very long. Sound like everyone's kind of dispersed. K4DBS, name is Doug, Delta Oscar United, Georgia.
What did you say your first name was? K4DBS, KK4GZQ. I didn't catch your handle, old man. Over.
Yeah, my handle is Doug, Delta Oscar United, Georgia.
QSL, Doug. Nice to meet you this morning. KK4GZQ. My name is Kevin. I'm located about 16 miles southwest of Lexington, Kentucky. And you're in here at about S9 or a little better at times. A good copy on R392 receiver. Jerry, KE9U up just a little south of Indianapolis and Greenwood, Indiana is also on with W4AX. Mac down in Ball Ground, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. So I'm not going to stay in. I just wanted to jump in and say good morning again. I've got a heating pad going on. I've pulled a little back muscle here, just slightly, but just wanted to trying to get it healed quicker and just applying some heat to it and a little medication and trying to see if I can get out of the woods with it pretty quick here. So with that, Doug, good morning to you. I'm going to hand it back over to Mac, W4AX, and let you guys carry on. W4AX and the group, KK4GZQ, on the mousetrap this morning, Mac, over.
All right, Kevin, KK4GZQ, W4AX. Well, the mousetrap's doing a great job. And tribute to Charlie's work done it and Liz's. And I'm sorry you hurt your back. I know about that. It's no fun, but hopefully heating pad will fix it. You won't have to take a muscle relaxer or something. Good morning to you, Terry. First you in there, and I got Steve this time. And I couldn't quite hear Doug. We might be too close. Doug, the name here is Mac Mike Alpha Charlie Kilo in Ball Ground, Georgia, north of Atlanta. And I'm on a T368. And like Kevin, I'm listening on an R392. Kevin inspired me to get an R392, so I did. Anyway, nice little radio. Since I love the R392. I have a shack full of them here. Over to you, Jerry, and then I guess I'll try to pass it up to Doug. KE9U, W4AX. Somebody was just keying up. I guess I'll be a little too quick. And good morning, Mac and Kevin and Doug. Yeah, I'm not going to stick around. I just was listening, trying to wake up. Some mornings, Tim and I get on 90 and do a little bit one-on-one or two or three, and for a little bit before the southern guys come in. But yeah, I'm still trying to wake up. I just heard that. I thought maybe something new had come up about the classifications of tornadoes, but I guess I could look that up. But Steve's always very knowledgeable. He looks a lot of stuff up, I'm sure, he researches, and I haven't done that lately. But yeah, anyway, I just thought maybe something new came out with the newer technology of calculating these things. I thought maybe something new was there. And Doug, good morning to you. And no nets, don't. That's on the weekends. These are just round tables, and no need to stay contact. That really has not much meaning among hammers. Just throw your call in there, and somebody will get you. But nice to hear you. And I'm up here near Indianapolis, and I'm on a homebrew little 6146 rig, modulated by a pair of 6-6s, but I'm using a pair of 3500s, a linear, as some call it, which I don't know why. It's almost a derogatory statement, but yeah, it's not a Class C final, but it's an AB2 way to do it. But hey, I guess there's multiple ways to skin cats, right? Or deer, or pigs, or whatever. But anyway, good morning to you. Man, I didn't quite get the call. K4GDS, I think it is, and I'm going to go ahead and sign out. But good morning to you, Paul and Mac. Have a good morning. This is KE9U. Right back, here it comes.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry, is he crazy? No, I guess he's not hearing me. Hey, Tim, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. I'm hearing you. The others I'm not hearing.
Yeah, it's a strange condition. That's why I think I'm just going to sip coffee and try to wake up.
Let me talk to the Princess and
Throwing some up as well.
KK Pop IM, W4AX.
Yeah, I've been calling for about 5 minutes here. My instruments indicate that I'm putting out, a little over 200 watts. It may not be, maybe we'll have off on something else. And how copy over. The 2.5 for him. All right, well, this little ramp has to be extremely sensitive to any fluctuation in for some reason. But I still think that we would be close to make power you got. Now, morning to you, Jerry. And I tell you what, he can hear things for some reason. It sounds very well. Anyway, I just want to run through the equipment in the shop. I have all of this if you don't like it. Tags, I should have got home. She doesn't have that, so I guess I'll have to clean that up for the laser one. But I've got everything pretty well stowed now for the season. Shots on, but I've got like this. So I guess that's all, because I don't know if anybody else is here, Kevin. Mac, I just wanted to say good morning and hello to Jay while I had an opportunity.
Yeah, please go ahead, Kevin, and it's just the two of us.
Okay, and then I'm just going to pass it right back to you, Mac. And 7-3 to everybody out there. I didn't know if Jerry signed as well, but Jay, good morning to you, KK5IM. It's been a week or so since I've got to speak to you, Jay. Everything's going well in the progress of the cleanup and helping these folks down in western Kentucky. The response has been really overwhelming in the area. So anyway, wanted to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. And you're sounding great up here this morning. No problem copying you whatsoever. I'm on the mousetrap listening to you on the R392. Here it comes to you, Mac. 7-3J. Anybody else out there listening? KK4GZQ. Sign me out for good, Mac. 7-3. Okay, Kevin. Just real quick holler. So thanks to all the things you do, Kevin. And I'm sorry, our Joe aren't here, so I have to, I guess, speak just very minor changes. I know that they have incredible limit, Kevin, that you can run on your back. Who's the guarantee that you're going to be able to move it before you get your hands on it, right? I just wonder what the only thing that I worry about is any of the side effects, Jay, over.
Hey, Kevin.
Go ahead.
Take 2 stickers, go to bed, and call me tomorrow, and put a check in the mail.
You got it, Terry. Good morning to you. Merry Christmas to you down there, buddy. Sounding good. WB4OZM there in the Kingsport tri-state area there. Terry, good morning to you, and 7-3, and I'll pass it back to you, and then you can hand it back to Jay, KK5IM. WB4OZM, KK4GZQ.
That's WD4 Old Ugly, man. Anyway, just wanted to say good morning to you and everything. I'm going upstairs and take a shower and eat breakfast. 7-3s all the way around. Go ahead, Jake.
24 JCP.
All around for leaving the ship here. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Now, there's Joe in there, so I'm going to get back to Mac. Jerry it actually did. Joe, I had Kevin's having some back issues and
up to the sleep at the door. And since you weren't here and Art's not here, I had a very minor associated quack. I told Kevin that you guys could probably get him some liniment that would take care of that backache. And he seemed a little bit apprehensive about it. I'm not sure why. Go ahead. 4AF, KK5.
All right, KK5IM W4U. Interesting conditions this morning. Okay, 737, and Jay, always love hearing you on the RAM transmitter setup with the HD110. That is a nice setup, and that rig sounds good, and I'm glad I have a small part in helping with it. And Jay, we got to get you a laser cutter and engraver. That's the next thing. So save the green stamps, and you need to get you one of those. Well, I found that tool to be so handy, particularly around Christmas time. You can make all kinds of things for NASH and everything on it. So we need to round out your shop there. And Joe, good morning to you. Hope you're well. I think it's just the three of us now. I've kind of, there've been a lot of folks kind of in and out, but most folks have said they tried, I think, just listening around. And let's see what's going on down in Florida this morning. It is 38 degrees here this morning, and going only to a high of 48. So we're gonna get very warm today. K4JCP W4S.
K4DBM Max.
There we go. Good morning all the way around. W4S. 55IM. And I think there was another station in there. I did hear you. It's on it. That's WD4. Not sure recall that. Anyway, good morning all the way around from that was I come close to you there, Mac. 38.6. So it's a little brisk out there this morning. Feels good, actually. We're on the 610 again this morning. I started to bring up the other stuff, but the lazy got in the way. So we're back on old rock and stain again. And thank you, Jay, for going ahead and describing some the relief for Kevin that at some point in time it gets where we can't affect the cure anymore, but at least we can get to where they don't care. Which is, that's almost as good. Do what we can. And thank you for your effort. And Kevin, if you're listening, we don't stop with horse liniment. We got the elephant bombs. We don't, nothing halfway here. Morning, Jay. KK5IM at K4JCP.
Okay, Joe, good morning to you, K4JCP and KK5IM. Just listening here to see if we have anybody else showing up. And all right. Well, that gets the transmitter's a good transmitter. I think I can't read the power supply. Anyway, once it's tuned up though, well, the laser, that's just another one of those things. But I'm moving along. place within the 16. And they take the woodwork and do not work the metalwork. But I'm not totally sure about that. That's the next thing I'm going to try now. They have things that make Los Angeles. And one of them is box joints, box joints. We're not trying to make that color but we'll see how precise it is with that. What we need to do is find some cheap lumber. That's probably not the W4AX KK5IM. KK5IM W4AX. That gave me a chuckle. I tell you, I've been working on that in December, just making everything. And the toolbox from the USA looks wonderful. The red film works out for you. And Joey's got a good signal. The 610 always sounds good. Well, I have finished all of my projects for Christmas. All the gifts were made. They're wrapped. I made name tags out of wood and with raised lettering. Go on the gift, and I'm going to deliver one of the gifts today because Kristen's roommate is going down to see her mom and dad for Christmas, and she doesn't have time to get over here. I need to carry her present over to her this morning to say hi to Kristen. Kristen, Joe is my, Jay and I both have a Kristen. My Kristen is my middle daughter, and she's 39 years old. So I'm going to get over and see them because she'll be here for Christmas. So. I don't know whether it's something's going to be mentioned on the air or not, but if there's any update on the case, that would be good about K4JCT W4AX. W4AX, KK5IM, K4JCT. I did take start yesterday afternoon, and they're still trying to find the source of this. I think the way he worded it, leads me to believe that apparently there's a little more to it too than I guess was originally thought. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not sure exactly what that means, but apparently they're, I guess, on the right track. And their fever is down, and maybe back to normal or close to it, so I think that's good news. I think they were supposed to have been home yesterday because I talked to Bob, BCC, and I was supposed to do the pre-nap last night for the swamp nap. So anyway, it's been a interesting season. A little short adjustment. Let's see it. We must have a little bit of view on it this morning. Anyway, that's all I have on that. I guess still no indication of